What's up, my peeps? I am driving into Westgate Wellness Center right now to put my chiropractic hat on. Had some consults this morning, and on my way out the door, because I'm in a transition right now between, my working world as a chiropractor to traveling and speaking, the whole concept of where I'm living is kind of up in the air. There's an uncertainty there with my home. And because the home is a very high value to my mother and father, when they see my clothes, my suitcases and all of my belongings scattered and dispersed with an uncertainty with where I'm living, they have a reaction towards it and they form a judgment and they'll turn around. And my mom on the way out the door turns to me and says, it's my dream that you get a life. So she turned and she goes, that you have a home that's clean, that you are with food. And so she's looking at all my suitcases and my, all the mess that's around at their place, because I'm kind of in transition of condos and stuff. And they're taking it as a disappointment. And so there was a time when I perceived their judgments on me as disapproval, and I had a reaction to it. And so today it literally happened. This conversation with my mom literally happened about 5 minutes ago, and as it was happening, the old me that I can recall would have reacted, would have taken offense, reacted in anger, gotten defensive, simply because of the feeling that I'm not good enough, or I'm inadequate, or I'm a bad person, or the choices that I've made did not meet their approval, therefore I cannot approve of myself. So it was a very interesting judgment that I had made on the situation before, when I would hear that kind of a feedback. And I did the work on it. I did an overview on it. I've done many overviews on this issue with my parents, because let's face it, can parents change? No. Can you change your parents? Can you change your kids, your teenagers? No. What is it we are called upon to do is to love what is. Luckily, there's a tool for you to do that. And I would sit there and bring up the feelings of inadequacy, self-judgment, self-criticism. And simultaneously, while this is happening, there is a explosion going on with this overview method. People are flying in from all over for the weekend to come and participate in Montreal. The people who were all there last time are registering to come back. So there is this incredible duality of I'm greater than happening, and my mom comes and, bursts that bubble and says, I wish you would get a life. So I had to chuckle at that and and check in that moment and realize that I actually didn't have an emotional reaction. I looked at it and then I thought, of course this is happening. Of course she should be judging in her values. There was a time when I perceived that as not being loved and supported. And after taking many of you through overview, many of you listening right now, doing private consults with your expectations that Mom should have supported me, Dad should have supported me, not realizing that what she's doing, there's a little voice that goes into my mind that says, I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to show her. So me stepping out and going to Toronto and Montreal and Australia and all of these places that I went with last year, who had never heard of who I am, just some chiropractor in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, this feeling of proving her wrong, proving them wrong, serves. So I don't want you to underestimate that feeling of inadequacy in your life that you were made to feel by your parental units, by your mom, by your dad. That served you. It gives me a competitive edge. It pushes. When I'm working like 11 p.m. on the phone, pushing somebody through resistance, there's an inner voice that says, I'm going to prove my parents wrong. And that is to the service and the benefit of the entire world that I do when I'm doing a one-on-one with somebody and I'm actually pushing them through. That little inner voice of proving them wrong serves. So I don't want you to sit there and doubt yourself for 1 second, or judge these feelings of inadequacy because they serve you. They serve me quite well. I am where I am today, as magnificent and shameful as it is. I am where I am today because of those feelings. So I wanted to acknowledge that and share that little mini overview moment that I had, and to encourage you to embrace your inadequacies. Embrace all of these rejections. Embrace all of these non-supports and the negators in your life who've actually pushed you to prove them wrong. Peace out.